Okay, so this afternoon, because for a lot of attendees, you will see my face tomorrow again. I will speak about our, let's say, flagship project within our association, the European Week for Waste Reduction. I spoke already a little bit about this project yesterday for those who attended the opening session. This is a very interesting Life Plus project because it tackles prevention, but also reuse and recycling. I will show you in a few minutes. So the first 3 steps of the waste hierarchy, and it's a bottom-up approach, but also an up-bottom approach. We try to have both sides together in order to have more and more emphasis in order to increase public awareness, and especially about prevention of waste, as Tommy already mentioned it. So, what is it about? It's a raising awareness project, so it's not about technical problematic. It's raising awareness about the 3 first steps of the waste hierarchy. Reduce, so try to produce less waste. Reuse, as most as possible you have to reuse the product you have bought. And recycle. So we don't speak about, we don't advocate for energy recovery or landfilling, of course, because we try to reach a circular economy like that, to emphasize the 3 steps of the waste hierarchy. And within this European week, we have also a cleanup day. As I mentioned yesterday, the first edition of this cleanup day was held last Saturday. And for the first time, it was the first edition, we registered already 3,300 actions all around Europe and even outside the EU, with voluntary action to clean up beach, forests, etc. And it's not just cleanup action, but it's also the way to raise attention about the fact that we don't have to clean up. We need to produce less waste, and if we produce waste, we have to collect them selectively in order to gain the resource from them. So, you see different actions that were implemented in the previous years, because you have to know that this project was born already 5 years ago in 2009, and it's a Canadian ID, took over by the French National Waste Agency at that time, and they asked for a Life Plus funding, and with different partners. And we repeated this, let's say, 5 years project with last year, and now our association is the coordinator. And we, at the beginning, it was only on prevention, and now we thought that we had a lot to do also regarding reuse and recycling, because it was too narrow to have only prevention. And collecting waste, you can also raise awareness about the fact that you don't have to throw your waste, and that you have to reduce the quantity of waste. So now we have these 3 levels of the waste hierarchy. And the interesting thing, as I told before, is that it's bottom up and up bottom, because we are the coordinator, okay, and the technical secretariat of the week, and we develop tools. So we have a website, we have a communication tool that we offer to people and organizer. And we have 4 partners, so that they help us to spread the word and to build up tools, website and contact network among Europe and outside Europe. So we have the Brussels Regional Agency, ICA, which is a communication company in Italy. We have also the Catalan Waste Agency and the National Waste Agency in Hungary. And so they are the coordinators. And afterwards, we have some funding. For example, the French agency gave us money, but they didn't want to be a coordinator anymore. But there are, let's say, coordinator for their country, but not for the whole project. And so we try to have more and more coordinator by countries. And we have action developers. And for that, you can be a citizen, you can be an NGO, but you can be also a region, a municipality, a company. So we try to have different target audience, so administration, association, business, education, because we do believe that through schools we can do a lot. And so, of course, it's a question of public authority because normally education is one of the public policy, but you can do also a lot through NGOs advocating for waste reduction within the schools. Citizens and any other association like sportive association, or we try to get all together the different actors, and like that we have a lot of participation and we demultiplicate, I don't know if we say it in English, demultiplier the participants for this project. And so if you see though this new project started in 2013, as I mentioned before, you had this map, and now we try to have really all over Europe and even more, everybody involved, and with a focus on the third three level of the hierarchy. So reduce, it means strict avoidance, but also reduction at source, reuse and preparing for reuse. So with the repair cafe, with this kind of activities that we completely forgot in some of our member states, it's a pity, but it also produces more and more waste when you just throw away what you don't want, even if it works, it still works. And recycling. So within the week we have different thematic days, and we have this cleanup action. We do believe that cleanup action are really great in terms of visibility, but very narrow in terms of content. It means that you have to always accompany your cleanup action with a strong campaign regarding the first level of the waste hierarchy, because it's not enough to say just clean up and it will be okay. And you know, I don't know if you know the Let's Do It movement. This is a very great movement created in, I think, in Estonia for the first time. And they have a lot of actions in all over the world. It's not only in Europe. And in order to collect more and more waste in dumped and I mean to decrease litter. And in a certain point they had problem because people were very proud when they collected a lot of waste, but it's not the purpose. We have to produce less waste, you know. So you have to be careful when you advocate to say that it's a point. Yes, we have to avoid litter, but we have to go much more behind this message. So that's why we like our project, because it's during 1 week. Okay, we have a cleanup action, but we have also other action promoting reduction, recycling, and yes, less waste production. So we will try to build up during this 5 years contract targeted communication tools available on our website. And of course we have trainings and awards. This is important to get people motivated. So every year we will award the best action for each category. And next week we will be in Rome and we will have a big ceremony, award ceremony, like in Hollywood, more or less, with the new Italian Ministry of for Environment. And we will give award to citizens, administration category, business also, in order to see that we have to work all together to reach the objective. It's not only citizens, but everybody. And also not only citizens when you are in your house, but also when you are a worker. Because you know that a lot of study showed that your behavior change when you are in your company or where you work or at home. Because in some of EU members, you are obliged to sort at source your waste in your kitchen. Okay, you put your packaging waste in a bin, your organic waste in another bin, and so afterwards you go to work. And at work you don't have this kind of different bins, and so you put all together inside the bin, and it's a pity. So that's why this project tried to reach all different targets, audience, and also to target the different behaviors, not only as citizens, but as employers, as employees, as civil servants, as teachers. So it's very important, I think, this. So every year, because we think that is the most important thing when you want to have a strong policy on waste, and in order to reduce the quantity of waste produced, we try to always advocate on prevention. And that's why every year within the project we have a one day on prevention. Last year it was about reuse. This year it will be about food waste, if I don't mistake. So, and last year we did a lot of action, and we tried to concentrate conferences and actions on the reuse aspect of products. So, as mentioned yesterday, we had this first cleanup day. For a pragmatic reason, we decided not to organize it within the week, because you will see it in another slide. The week is the last week of November, but the cleanup day is before, because in Estonia, at the end of November, it's plenty of snow. In Belgium, unfortunately, when I'm from, in May or November, it's more or less the same. It was raining all the day last Saturday, and for sure it will rain in November, but okay, they clean a little bit. And that's why we decided, and also because Mr. Potocznik wanted to have a clear visibility on this cleanup actions, we thought it was better to anticipate the cleanup action in the spring period. So, first year, and as I mentioned, it's not updated because I received the last number yesterday. It's 3,300 action registered. So maybe we had more, but it were not registered cleanup actions, and involving different categories of people, because we had action, for example, coming from Brussels. Each EU institution committed to do something. So you had the civil servant from the Commission, from the European Parliament, which they clean up the area, and you had also, of course, some schools, a lot of NGOs as usual. But we tried to have not only the real convinced. I'm sure that here in the audience, you are all convinced that we have to reduce our quantity of waste produced. But we have the most important thing is to convince the others. So as mentioned before, we have different targeted audience, and other elements. We try to have conferences and webinars, so it allows us to have more people involved, even if they are not in the same place. And as mentioned, the awards. We think it's important to motivate people to have this carrot at the end of the edition. And we try also this year to evaluate and to report in order to see what are the best action, where can we improve really, where can we decrease really the impact, the environmental impact, because it's quite difficult, because it's awareness campaigns, and it's not, you cannot measure the pollution the day before, the day after, but at least you have different methodology. For example, in repairs cafe, you can count the quantity of clients from a year to another, and so you can suppose that people are more aware about the fact that they can reuse their stuff instead of considering them as a rubbish. Well, we have different methodologies. So, for the result, this last year we had more than 12,000 actions in 19 countries, and with 34 coordinators. So we are, I will show you in different slides, we are always increasing the number of actions. So we think that this is a good point, that it means that we spread the voice, that it's gaining more and more participants. So you, on the map you can see a little bit where you have different action, and I have to say that in Italy this project has a very big success, and I think that last year we had, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 action in November, and especially within the business category. So, for example, a lot of banks and SMEs were involved in order to decrease the quantity of waste produced in the work location. So it's interesting to see that also business in this kind of project they are in. So if we compare with the different the previous years, we can see in the blue, that we are always increasing the actions. So it means that, yeah, we are in the good path, but we still have a lot to do. So what can I say? Please join the club. The next edition will be the last week of November. You can find all information, useful information, on our website. So there is a website dedicated to the week, the EWWR.eu. And if you really want to be as efficient as possible, I think that you can already start to prepare your action and to spread the word. I mean, more we will be, more success we will have, and at the end we will decrease our waste production. And as I mentioned yesterday, 80% of the marine litter come from the inland litter. So we have also to work not only on the coast but also inside the country, and this is one of the projects which can help. Thank you.